Chapter 4, Day 1. And the symbol here is a pacifier of all things. Omote Sando, one of the commercial centers for Old World Tokyo. Now it's just a dirty dump like everywhere else. The buildings here do look fancy like in Shibuya. This place used to be a major shopping hub like Shibuya was, except with more high-end merchandise. Inexpensive things that aren't useful today. Whatever happens to sustainability, huh? In commercialized areas like this, it was all about which products made the most profit. Sustainability was a topic for politicians huddled around shouting at each other. If they ever agreed on anything, the old world would still be around today. Do-it-yourself bomb shelters and survival kits weren't in vogue, huh? You wouldn't find things like that in shopping malls? No. It's not like the public expected the world to end like it did. They thought no one would be stupid enough to push the limits of mutually assured destruction. Now only rats are going to do some shopping around here. Not reminiscing about the war, kids. We're here to find Hayami. Are you sure she's in this building? She lives here last I heard. Being part of an infamous treasure hunting group has its perks. Midori told me Hayami's here too. They kept in touch for a while. Alright, there's only one way to find out. So we're still carrying that chip with us. As the group approached the door, they were greeted by a familiar face. What are you doing here? Hey now, is that how you greet an old friend? It's how I treat ghosts. Look, I'm sorry you didn't hear from me sooner. You're not exactly easy to find. I wasn't hiding. If you're here now, that means you probably need something. You're always right on the money, Hayami. It's even more obvious when he's got you guys tagging along. Hey, Eiji, Toshio. Yo. Great to see you again, Hayami. I've only been in Nova's Tokyo for a couple of weeks. Wasn't sure who I'd run across first. You found me like a laser-guided missile. You kinda knew where everyone was right from the start, you. Fine, it was just how things turned out, okay? Is that a fact? It is. Huh, how quaint. Trying to be nice before asking for a favor. Unfortunately for you, I have work to do. Whatever business you have with me will have to wait. If it's any consolation, I can say this. Omote Sando is my home now, so you'll find me if you stick around. Goodbye. Wait. Eiji stopped you before you could lunge towards Hayami. We're not in so much of a hurry that we have to hold her up. What are you talking about? Miho? He's right, you. You'd better look around first rather than chase Hayami for no good reason. You're the one to talk. Who wanted to chase Hayami for a date? That was a long time ago. Now, we're all happy to finally see Hayami again. Must be the same for her, seeing us together like this. If Midori was here, it'd be perfect. No need to hurry. We'll see Hayami again, that's for sure. Yep. Let's just look around, see if anyone knows what Hayami's been up to, and if she's even in a position to come with us. Eiji, there's no question about that. Der Chalton must be complete when we revive Miho. Eiji looked like he was about to say something and relented only not to hurt Yu's feelings. Fine, let's go. So this is where Hayami's been staying in the last couple of years. Could be that she just moved in. Who knows what's happened to her since we broke up? All we know is that she lives here now. Broke up? You and Hayami? You two were never, right? Dude! I was talking about Der Chalton breaking up. What's up with you? Oh, yeah, of course, exactly. Who knows what Hayami's been up to since then, right? This place is hella spacious, though. Enough space for a medic bay on the ground and multi-purpose rooms upstairs. Whoever's running this place sure knows what they're doing. Oh, my. Gee. What? Is he supposed to be like OMG or what? Gunther dove onto the ground and cradled something in his hand. What's with you? You don't know what this is? This is a sleazy lady matchbook. You know, the kind you get from burlesque joints? Are there even places like that around here? Obviously, if they got these things lying around. It's like a door prize. You go in and they give you these to advertise. You're not as innocent as I remember, Gunther. Maybe Krim's delusions of grandeur got to him. Never been in one, but Krim, on the other hand, told me some stories that I really didn't need to hear. You know that guy's no paragon of honesty. Most of his stories are probably made up. So why are you so excited? It's a lead, man. Maybe Hayami's in there. Say that again? Well, think about it. Someone as pretty as Hayami, someone as alluring as Hayami, even someone as mysterious and strong like Hayami. Don't go making fun of her like that. It all makes sense now. Only someone like Hayami could possibly run a burlesque show. What? It could happen. Maybe Hayami got sick of that creepy hobby of hers, made some friends, made some moves, and BAM! She runs her own show. Gunther. If AG can run a bar, and seriously dude, that one came out of nowhere, then why is it so implausible for Hayami to own a show? I'm not going to ask you to shut up. I want you to think long and hard about the next thing that comes out of your mouth. I'll be quiet. Good. It doesn't really matter where the matches are from. We might as well keep them. They don't look all that bad. We can use them to start a fire if we need to camp. Just don't let anybody see those if you're keeping them, especially Hayami. But she owns her own club and hands out the matches. Why would she... What did I say? I assure you, Gunther, whatever Hayami is doing nowadays probably doesn't involve that. What is the matter with you? She's got a nasty look in her eyes. Reminds me of a certain someone when she gets mad. What are you staring at? You need to take a vision test? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to stare like that. You looked an awful lot like a friend of mine for a minute. I'm you. Okay. Okay. Are you hurt at all? Any cuts, bruises, missing limbs, stomach pains, or mild constipation? No, I don't think so. Good. You don't need help then. Next. You looks around him. There's nobody else in line here. Next. So, what's your next? Not very subtle, are you? You keep staring at me. You're not up to anything, are you? What? No, none at all. If you don't have any business with me, then get moving. You don't look hurt, so you don't need medical attention. If you want the usual, you should just say so and quit wasting time. What's the usual? You've heard about me, haven't you? That's why you're talking to me, isn't it? Thought I did a good job advertising in the Soapland. I think there's been a misunderstanding. It's a couple cans worth of food for the first service, bottle of alcohol for the second. If you really want it that badly, hand over whatever medical gear you have. Although if you don't have those, I guess anything you got will be alright. You'll get what you pay for, however. The more valuables you fork over, the more you get of what you want. Hey, hold on here. I'm not interested in the kind of service you're giving. That's really disgusting. Since when are rumors and information disgusting? What's your problem? Oh, information. I see now. What do you think I meant? Nothing. You're a pig. If you want that kind of stuff, go to the bathhouse. I don't. I was just... Forget it. You're a weird boy. Sorry, I got confused. I didn't mean any disrespect. I don't really care. I'm just here to tell what I know for a price. If you want to know something, give me something valuable to trade. What kind of stuff would you know? That depends on what you have. She's got my attention, that's for sure. Maybe it's worth a shot to play along. What do you want to know? I have a matchbook on me. What'll this give me? That's it? That's all I got. Why not that knife you got there? That's gotta be worth something. It's not for sale. I'm just giving the matches for now. Fine. The info broker takes the matchbook. You're not getting much for that. They hand these things out to customers at the Soapland all the time, so don't expect a lot from me. Take it you're a patron too? No, I found it on the ground somewhere. Somebody ditched it. How about you tell me your name and what you do around here? I'm Reira, and I already told you what I do. I don't think selling information alone is going to put food in front of you. You have to do some other kind of work. That's none of your business. I just paid you, didn't I? Old matches aren't going to get you far. I'm not an open book here. They're still good enough to start a small campfire or a gas stove. You want something? Fine, I'll tell you something. You look like you're new around here, so I doubt you know about Omote-sando's deepest and darkest secret. What secret? If I were you, I'd stay away from the slums. There's worse things than pickpockets and cutthroats down there. Like it's not like that everywhere. How much worse can it be? They say that after the nuclear fallout from the old world, there was a traveling merchant woman who deserted her family to seek her fortune. She traveled all over the world, including the actual sites where bombs still fell. Or where the bombs fell, and there was no still there, sorry. As you can understand, those things are heavily irradiated. Soaking up so much radiation can kill you, among other things. Go on. This woman spent so much time in irradiated lands that, by the time she finally returned home, it didn't just make her terminally ill. She suffered horrible mutations, growing extra fingers and toes. She even grew 2 extra heads, both crying blood and wailing in agony. Rumors circulated about her condition. Some people said it was a curse brought upon by an angry god because she wouldn't support her family. Everyone else just concluded that her radiation poisoning was the sole culprit. Whether it be through scientific mutation or by an angry deity, she wasn't human anymore. The doctors had no idea what to do with her. They tried all they could to ease her pain, but the pain drove her mad. She lashed out at everyone that tried to help her. She bit, stabbed, shot, and killed anyone that dared cross her. So they locked her away in an abandoned house in the darkest part of the slums, hoping that she'd be forgotten one day, like a bad nightmare. If you're going to the slums for whatever reason, I'd say turn around. It's not worth your life. That's the dumbest story ever. You made that up. I told you that you get what you pay for. Not my fault you can't listen. I want my matches back. You got my name and a tall tale as a bonus. I don't owe you anything. Thief. If you want something more worthwhile, you can dig a little deeper into your bag. If you don't have anything else, then leave me alone. So she's really the only one you can talk to here. Nothing to examine either. They really hold up in here. Looks like there are occupants on every floor. Tell me about it. I've seen organized communities living under the same roof before, but not this big. The bigger groups usually have armed Sanctus soldiers keeping the peace. Must be hell trying to run this place without everyone stealing from each other. Whoever's on top must have some serious leadership skills. Can't imagine everyone in Tokyo Dome City living in such a cramped place. It's probably a catch. Keep your eyes open. You think? People don't just get together in one place. Nomad groups try to stay far away from each other as much as they can. Grow big enough, and peace comes at a price. Why is there no security? This doesn't look like a Sanctus settlement. There's no security, and yet this place is huge. It's probably just a bunch of people who live in the same area. They just happen to stay in the same building. Why are you so uneasy, old man? Wonder how they keep everything together. Large groups are always tricky to manage. The place looks rather organized, though. Makes you wonder what kind of leader they have. Could be no one. Could be they were looking at a bunch of folks who are cool with each other. It's a big group. They have to be extra careful about rotten apples affecting everyone else. Or maybe they just don't care. Maybe they just tolerate each other whether good or bad. They've probably been together for so long that it's comfortable the way it is. That's a possibility. As long as there's nothing to fight about, maybe it's alright to have a group this big. That'd be a hell of an achievement. Guys, are we just gonna stand here and speculate, or should we look around? We should split up. We'll cover more ground that way. I want to see the view from the top. Hey, no fair. I'm going too. Gunther, are you seriously acting like a child? Yeah, I'll be the bigger man and I have to take him to the top floor. I'll check out the floor just below that. You should watch the kids, AG. Make sure they don't get hurt. You want to stay on this floor because you don't want to take your lazy ass up the stairs. No, I'm speaking out of genuine concern here. Whatever, you guys. Smell you later. Gunther's such a kid, isn't he? Anyway, I should get going. Me, you guys back here? Fine. You take this floor, you. Don't get lazy on us now. Like I'd ever fail you, AG. Do your job properly, leader. You hear? I'm off. Let's see what this place is all about. I'm with you on that one. Okay, so we can go into the gallery. Yeah, looks like there's just two things, unless we're gonna go down. Is that a bed? That must be where people sleep. There's no guard and anyone can just come and go, it seems. I should check it out. May find locals who know Hayami. They can pack quite a few people in this room. Maybe this is where everyone sleeps. The residents are well organized enough to establish which areas are for what. Now the question is, who's calling the shots? For a second there when that cursor changed, I thought that was something to interact with, but... yeah, there's nothing, man. What are you looking at? You're too young to be a customer, hotshot. A customer? What's for sale? Sleazy one rolled her eyes. Get out of here, brat. You're mean. He's lucky I didn't flip him off. What? Stop staring and scram. What are you looking at? You're too young to be a customer, hotshot. So I thought this was going to be the soap land, but they kind of need water for that. And just in case you're not familiar with Japanese culture, I probably should explain. Soapland is, put your mind in the gutter for this, a place where people pay to be cleaned. So you can pay to take a bath with someone, have them clean you, etc. And in general, it's supposed to be all non-sexual stuff like that to avoid prostitution laws, but behind closed doors, all bets are off. So just know that it's kind of a legal form of prostitution. It's like a gray area because as long as the cops don't know, it's gonna happen, I guess. Apparently they have one of those here. Let's try to find it. Maybe it's in this gallery. A gallery? When old world people wanted to buy paintings they'd hang on their wall, they'd check there. A pointless exercise if you ask me. Staring at a picture won't do jack when you're starving. It's not a necessity, but the residents bothered to set up a gallery. Might be worth a visit. There they are. Pretty pictures that can lighten up your day. Sometimes they get you all contemplative about your life. Often, they're just a reminder that you were born in the wrong era. It'll take exceptional imagination for anyone living today to see and express beauty like old world artists did. I guess Nova's Tokyo can afford such luxuries. You wouldn't find properly maintained art galleries in the wild. This place isn't controlled by Sanctus, though. The residents must know how to take care of themselves. Okay, we can interact with these, and I feel a puzzle coming on. It's a blackbird on a pink rock. It looks sad the way it's hanging its head like that. Or is it dozing off? Its backdrop is so vibrant with a careful selection of colors. Wish I could understand what the artist is trying to express with this. This guy looks like he just lost a bet. Wouldn't sit like that for too long. His back probably hurts. Is that black critter mocking him by eating his food in front of him? His pain is too depressing to look at. That's a lot of horses. Speaking of which, we haven't eaten anything since arriving in Omotesando. Yu's stomach grumbled. What does horse meat taste like? Try eating at Burger King. I should stop looking at this. The horses are wearing some kind of armor, so they're probably at war. Better find my meat elsewhere. This is what they call a minimalistic painting, I think. Just black ink and not much else. Not sure what it portrays, though. A bracelet or earring of some sort. I don't think Mio will want to wear that. It'll probably scare her. If people from the old world made money splattering ink on paper, I would have made bank back in those days. Ah, you're just curious then. I guess you could say that, yeah. You're not from around here, are you? I am not. I'm just passing by. The art collection must attract quite an audience. On the contrary, no one really cares enough to drop by. That's how I knew you weren't from around here. If you were, you'd be an odd one. Not a lot of people have time for leisure, I suppose. And you're an exception? I shouldn't even be here. I'll show myself out. You? What are you doing? Hayami beelined towards you before realizing there was someone else with him. Oh. Hi. Hey there. Is Hayami blushing? I hope this runt isn't giving you any trouble. He's my guest. I just left for 1 minute and... No, it's fine. I just got here myself. If anything, I should thank your friend here for keeping me company. My pleasure. If you say so. By the way, did I catch your name correctly, young man? You don't have to treat me like a kid, and yes, the name's you. You, right? I'm Yaz. Nice to meet you. Likewise. Treasure hunter? Oh, I meant no offense by asking that. You can browse the paintings all you want. They're not even mine. You're Sanctus, right? You! Either that, or you killed a high-ranking officer for that pistol in your holster. Sharp eyes. You know about gunblades, huh? I don't know what Sanctus would be doing here, though. It's a prime spot for a settlement, sure, but this area doesn't seem to be controlled by Sanctus. Hey now, no jumping to conclusions, friend. I'm not with Sanctus. Alright, no jumping to conclusions. Who's the treasure hunter, friend? So now we have Yaz's profile. Yaz shrugged. Let's go, Hayami. You? How can you be so rude? You walked away from the gallery, and Hayami followed hesitantly. Interesting kid. You! I'm talking to you! Hey, is that? Hayami! Good to see you! Speak of the devil. That's not a very nice thing to say. Hello, Hayami. I see you guys are back. And you're picking a fight with Hayami. It's like he has even less manners than the last time we saw each other. I never thought that could be possible. The leader exceeds expectations. What are you guys up to? Ask your leader. He was talking to a friend of mine, who's really nice and cordial and friendly to everybody, by the way. Why do you give someone like that attitude, you? I thought you had a job to do. I do, but now I'm worried it'll completely ruin my reputation if I leave you here. I didn't do anything. What do you want from me? Why are you here? Promise you won't laugh. Just get on with it before you tarnish my image even further. I didn't take you for someone who cares too much about that, Hayami. Maybe not back then, but in Omotesando, it's all about what others think of you. So what was the reason why you're here that I shouldn't laugh about? It's actually not that funny. Just as hilarious as watching ants copulate. Cheer up, you guys! Think of it as a fun adventure. Adventure? Oh, you want to go to a better place. Shuffle off this mortal coil. Take the last train to glory. Is that what you want, you? I'm honored that you've come for me to put you down. You've chosen well. I'll make sure you look pretty. You in a rusted iron casket lined with fine cloth, your resting place will be fit for a legend. No, I didn't visit an old friend just to die. I'd rather croak in a dark corner where I wouldn't bother anyone. I do have a favor to ask, though. If it isn't going to be fun for me, you can leave me out. I'm not saying you're going to be stoked on it, but it's offbeat enough to pique your interest. It's also important that we're all together to pull it off. You, Eiji, Toshio, Gunther, Midori, and me. We all have to be in on this. Derchalton on one more mission. I'd hate to call it the last, but... You, stop. Derchalton is no more. There's no Derchalton without her. Hayami paused. Yeah, about that. In any case, I'm busy. Freeloaders don't get to stay in Omotesando. I can't commit to whatever it is you're planning to do, even if she was still around. We can talk about it some other time. I'm curious about this place, actually. What does it take to become a resident? I imagine you don't want too many people leeching off the supplies. As far as I can tell, the place operates on a meritocracy. You contribute, you're allowed to stay. Oh yeah, that's the thing here, huh? Folks upstairs told me about that too. It's not like in Tokyo Dome where you find your own food. Shibuya relies a lot on the market. Whether you like it or not, you have to deal with merchants to survive over there. I've been with a group that gave its members a quota. We were kids, so even my friends who occasionally missed quota stayed. I don't know if it worked differently for the adults, but everyone carried their own weight for the most part. I always doubled the quota to cover for me and Miho, though. Born to be a treasure hunter, eh you? I was just a lowly scavenger back then, digging through dirt and all that. I hold treasure hunters to a higher standard. What's wrong with scavenging? It's what I had to do until I could open a bar. Enough with the reminiscing. Yes, this community is merit-based. You do things for Omotesando, you stay in Omotesando. It doesn't always have to be bringing back supplies. Maybe it's working at somebody's farm or maintaining a diplomatic relationship with Sanctus. As long as you provide value, Omotesando offers a safe place to stay. But whatever good you do is invalidated if you bring troublemakers over. We're not going to cause trouble, Hayami. You better not. It won't be too long before everyone associates you guys with me. Word travels fast around here. Don't give people a reason to kick me out. We'll never do anything to even slightly inconvenience you, Hayami. Yeah, we'll put you on a leash if we have to. Good thing I always carry one with me, just in case. What's that supposed to mean? Let's just get him a pretty collar while we're at it. Why do I find that idea amusing? You people are sick. So, what do you do around here, Hayami? I'm a gravekeeper. You watch over graves? Respect. Oh, I don't just watch. I personally usher in the dead people, too. I never get tired of the looks on their faces. Must be tough, seeing people grieve over their loved ones all the time. What? Oh, I wasn't talking about the survivors. I meant the faces of the dead. Aren't they lovely? Sometimes they look all distorted. You could tell they went through great pain before biting the dust. At times, they look like they're just sleeping, dreaming of the endless void. Occasionally, they don't even come with a head. But as much as I love variety, at the end of the day, they've all reached the same fate. The end of the line. They're off the hook. Kick the bucket. They just lay there motionless. Life has ceased for them. There's nothing left to worry about. Nowhere to go, nowhere to return. There's nowhere to run when you're 6 feet under, really. You don't see, or feel, or think. It's just darkness. Or maybe light. A plane of existence or non-existence the living can't even comprehend. Death is heaven. The ultimate form of romance. For me, that is them. I could care less where they're going. Holy crap. It's refreshing to hear you talk like that again, Hayami. In a way. Had too many close calls to even stop and think what death really means. You always convince me why I shouldn't. It's mysterious, isn't it? There can even be a question of what it means to be dead. Yeah, dead's dead if you ask me. Look too much into it and you can really mess yourself up. I try to be optimistic. Can we talk about matters that concern the living now? I'd like to not be creeped out anymore, thanks. Go ahead, but I don't have all day. About Omotesando. So, this community is built on trust. No guards, anyone can go anywhere. No one's tried to stop us or even frisk us when we got inside. They're well stocked, too. Pantry's loaded and they have medical supplies. Usually you'd go overboard to protect that. You must have a leader with an iron fist, otherwise it'd be hard to deter anyone from sneaking out with all your food. Security is also an issue you can't be lackadaisical about when you're a prime target for raiders. Security is an issue you can't be lackadaisical about when you're a prime target for raiders. Shared sense of meritocracy just works for us, AG. Besides, we don't allow anyone we think would be a liability to stay. We make sure any trouble won't come from the inside. As for security, we can handle smaller threats. That Yaz had a gunblade. He's so cool, isn't he? He just makes you feel safe. Hold me in your arms, Yaz. Oh, come on! There aren't any big raider groups in Nova's Tokyo. Smaller groups of enterprising bandits we can fend off. As you can tell, Omotesando is made up of a mixed bunch. We have medics, mechanics, whores, former soldiers, diplomats. Few can hold their own combat, and that's enough for us. You're not too shabby yourself, Hayami. I know you can do with a lead pipe. Ah, you flatter me. But yes, I can help protect the place when push comes to shove. How did you end up here? Why did you choose to settle in Omotesando, if that was even the case? Where do I start? It's been a couple of years. A lot has happened. Did I choose to be here? I'm satisfied. More than I can say about the other places I've lived. Before or after Jerjalton? Both. Look, it wasn't smooth sailing until I got here. Is that what you wanted to hear? There you have it. Before Omotesando. I was lost when we broke up 2 years ago. Literally and figuratively. I couldn't tell you half the places I mindlessly wandered off to. I'd hoped you guys had better luck, but I gotta admit, it took me a while to get my senses and think that. I didn't want to see anyone at first. Everyone around me was a walking sandbag I wanted to beat to a pulp. To this day, I wonder how it was like for you guys. I sought shelter, warmth from another human being. Only one man I knew from the past fit the bill. I met, should we say, an old flame. Or I thought he was. Found out he'd just become a Sanctus officer stationed up north. Look out for any threat coming from that direction. He was warm at first, strong-willed and harsh, haphazard, yet determined. He was driven by his ideals. He'd always say he was fighting the good fight. We were both lonely. For months at a time, we didn't see another soul. It was just the two of us in the middle of nowhere. It was excruciating winter. We used each other to protect ourselves from the cold. But I could only offer so much. That's not true, Hayami. You're great. Obviously, he didn't think so. He started beating me. Had to get his blood going that way, he said. I endured it for a while, even when it was becoming physically impossible to do so. I know my limits. I wasn't going to live long taking that kind of punishment. The Hayami I know would defend herself. I didn't kill him. Didn't have it in me. Even when I still had the strength to resist his abuse, I couldn't do it. Never figured out why. Sometimes I think I justified it with his drinking. He wasn't thinking right whenever he'd beat me, or so I told myself. I'm not so convinced now. Why are you shaking? Damn, I can't. If he hasn't frozen to death, he'll have something else coming to him. I'd beat you to it if he were still alive. I'm not so confused and naive anymore. He has to pay. Now, I don't want to have any pleasant feelings when I see that monster again. Watching him bleed out with all his bones broken might excite me a little. So let's throw that under the rug. I hope I've saved a bit of your curiosity at least. Thanks, Hayami. After winter. I take you got out of that crap pronto. AG. This story better have a happy ending, or else I'm heading north with a vengeance. Hayami chuckled. AG, aren't you too old for revenge? Life's too short to still be holding grudges at your age. Bearing a grudge doesn't weigh me down. It gives me an excuse to have some fun. I assume you're still deadly with a crossbow, and the assortment of other weapons you're proficient at. Unfortunately, I did escape sooner than later. No need to be so mad. I look fine now, don't I? You're more beautiful than you've ever been, but how did you escape? Being out there in the wilderness. I imagine you didn't have much of a choice. Well, it turned out Sanctus doesn't tolerate domestic abuse among its ranks. Not back then, anyway. I was pretty banged up, no way to hide it. One of the officers he reported to noticed. The official talked to me, sneakily at first. Even when I denied it, he could tell that their lookout's been a bad boy. No kidding. You didn't speak up because you wanted to rely on your own strength. Yes and no. You're right, I did feel that way. By the time I justified the circumstances I was in. We provided each other with our needs. Life would have been sustainable if he wasn't beating me to near death. Somehow it was still better than when I had nothing. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. It was a difficult time for all of us, I'm sure. The Sanctus official helped you move? He made him move. Sent him to a mission away from where we lived. Idealistic and loyal as he was, he couldn't refuse an order. The official did make sure I had what I needed to survive. None of us knew what should be done with me after that. Eventually I realized that living in seclusion wasn't for me, so I left. Luckily I found Omotesando, and they had a use for me. Wanted me to work the graveyards. Like to have any qualms about that. I'm so glad you're here now, Hayami. I mean, not just in front of me, but in a place that seems to take care of its people. You and me both. You guys hear that? Shh. So, ironically, the reason why it took me so long to do that is because when he said that, my phone actually started vibrating. So, it was a little bit of a double take there. What's Takumi's lapdog doing in here? What are you doing in this dump? There's gunk everywhere. Floor sticky and it smells like rotten fish. None of your business. Now tell me why you're here before I get antsy. Just reminding you who's the better man, Yaz. I'm not in the game anymore, Hojo. No point in comparing. Am I hearing this right? Yaz the pistol. All mellow and non-confrontational. Times have changed. I'm just an ordinary art curator now. That's far from ordinary. I know everything about Nova's Tokyo. You're the only art curator around. Well, it's how it is. Even if you tell me more pointless trivia, nothing's going to change. Oh, I wouldn't call it pointless. Peculiar, certainly. What strange choice of occupation you have. Who cares? I've always been a student of history and the arts. My job is to preserve what little we have left of the past. I'm the only one, you say. Well, someone's got to do it. I can tell that your oh-so-selfless charitable work is very much appreciated. Look at how many visitors you have. The place is packed. Gotta start somewhere. The beginning of civilization wasn't unlike what we're experiencing now. Primary focus was on food, but once they reached a surplus, not everyone had to be a hunter or gatherer anymore. Look at this place. We have that surplus. The members of our community have responsibilities beyond sustenance. You're telling me that I'm standing in the middle of a model community which everyone else should imitate. Don't make me laugh. I already feel sick now. I've been here for 30 minutes. What we need is more people pursuing peaceful endeavors, Hojo. Not soldiers throwing their lives on the line for a futile power struggle. We can build again, taking lessons from the old world. Humanity doesn't need an icon. What it needs is to rediscover itself, starting from what we can find in the rubble. The pains I try to save are but a small sliver of the wonders that await us once we stop killing each other. We should explore the beauty of life, not end lives. Enough of the sermon. I already got enough of that back home. All I'm saying is you've chosen an interesting career. You open a place where you welcome all sorts of visitors. Good, bad, sanctus, not. They're all the same to you. Everyone gets to enjoy art. What are you trying to say? I'm not a threat to you anymore. Really, it makes me wonder, Pistol. Because the kind of business you have, I could mistake you for a spy. A spy? For who? And what purpose? That's implausible, to say the least. I'm just a boring old curator in a rundown mall. Got no strings to pull. You're better off taking your suspicions elsewhere, because you're looking in the wrong place right now. Looking in all the wrong places is my job. Maybe you ought to do some digging yourself, so I couldn't take anything more from you. I walked away. Whatever you took, I left for you. There's no reason for me to take them back now. Your words can never fool me. I have my eyes on you. I've got nothing for you to covet anymore. You're wasting time, Inomoto-sando. You can't hide behind the civilians. If we find out you're into some monkey business, you won't be safe anywhere. No hard feelings. I know that more than anyone. I'm clean. Now leave me alone. So, we got Hojo's profile and Yaz has been updated. You looked at Hayami. She seemed to space out. You know that guy? Yaz is so freaking cool! I know Yaz, but who's the other guy? L-O-V-E, Yaz. Go get that jerk. Though he's kinda cute, too. Looks like Hayami has a crush. That's refreshing, all things considered. She's gushing over a living being. It's a sight to see. And it's kind of freaking me out a little. I hear that. Maybe they can talk about dead things and dig their own graves together on the first date. That's one sick way to pick out the wedding cake. Digging graves with Yaz? That'd be so romantic. I'd compliment his shoveling technique, he'd admire the many graves I dug by myself, and... that'd be wonderful. Yeah, sure. Just what were they talking about anyway? Sure sounded like they knew each other. The other guy mentioned something about being a spy. A spy in a place like this, is that a valid contribution too? It's a large community that doesn't implode. There's gotta be a catch. Think Yaz is in the mood to talk? We could ask the locals too, see what they think. Everyone must have heard that argument. You're going to talk to Yaz? I'm not gonna be a pest. Don't worry about it. Fine. But can you at least ask him what kind of coffins he likes? Whoa. You know, wooden ones, metal ones, I want to know. Also, what kind of cloth does he prefer for lining caskets? Silk or the regular stuff? Strikes me as one for silk. It's a very elegant material, but so hard to find. Why don't you ask him yourself? I can't. You've already kept me here for too long. I need to get back to work. I see. If it comes up, I'll ask. Also, can you ask him what kind of food he prefers? Not much for cooking, but if I had a hint... What's so cool about that guy? He just stares at paintings. That's no real job. That's literally more boring than watching paint dry. Now, if he did something useful with his time, like, I don't know, build a realistic robot dog, then maybe he'd be a bit cooler. You don't understand. You don't know yet what makes a man. As much as I'd love to educate you, I have work to do. Way to go, Toshi boy. I think you pissed her off. No way, I was just telling the truth. Oh well, I'm gonna go talk to the guy. Let's see what this Yaz is all about. They don't have anything new, that sucks. Anyway, let's see what all's going down in the gallery. That sucks. Also kinda sucks they kick you back 2 screens, but anyway. I was wondering if you could examine anything else in here, go deeper into the place, but looks like the only thing you can do is talk to Yaz. Old friend paid you a visit. What? Oh, I wouldn't call him a friend. More like a rival, I guess. A rival spy. You're a funny guy, eh? He's just crazy if he thinks I'm a spy. There's nothing in Omote-sando that warrants espionage. Is it really that uneventful around here? You can say that. That's why I chose to settle here. You look a little young for retirement. Seems like you used to work with your rival. Should I take that as a compliment? Up to you how you look at it. Fair enough. What's up? Something on your mind? Who was that guy? Sounded like he really wanted to get a rise out of you. Couldn't you tell? Some asshole wants my attention, that's who. You did call him a lapdog. A little rude. He'll get over it. Was he sent by his boss? Takumi, I believe is his name. You're attentive. You got a lot of practice eavesdropping on people? You don't need training to hear the red flags. He said you could be a spy. A good friend of mine lives here. I wouldn't want any trouble for her. That friend would be Hayami, correct? Don't worry, no one's at risk, and I'm not a spy. That guy seemed to think otherwise. He can be as suspicious as he wants. I'm sure you could tell from the tone of his voice that he just didn't like me. Maybe. He took a particular interest in your new gig. I gotta say, he made some valid points. Being a curator does have its advantages for espionage. All sorts of people show up at the gallery. It's a great way to pass information along without raising suspicion. That's pure nonsense. I have no reason to spy for anyone. Neither side has anything good to offer. Which sides? Sanctus and GPA? Yaz grinned. See? I wouldn't even make a good spy. I'm awful at obfuscating information. Yes, I was referring to Sanctus and GPA. They're the biggest recruiters anyway. So either you or your friend is with one or the other. It didn't seem like you were enemies. What's in it for you, kid? What's with all these questions? Just morbid curiosity? I told you, Hayami's a special friend of mine. I want to make sure she's safe here. And if she's not, either we convince her to move, or I eliminate the threat. You sound confident, like you eliminate threats quite often. I could be bluffing. It's the oldest trick in the book. No, you're not. Yudai Sayashi's all business from what I've heard. I don't remember telling you my full name. Hayami is your good friend, and everyone knows that she's from that infamous treasure hunting group Derchalton. Arriving to the conclusion that you're Derchalton's leader, Yudai Sayashi, is a simple matter. You care so much, you've got to be the leader, right? You got me. Aren't you going to tell me about yourself now? I'm sure you can already tell. You're a smart kid. I'm former Sanctus. Chipped, but not a devout follower, just like you. And your rival thinks you've turned into a spy. It's an absurd proposition, really. I despise the busy life of a Sanctus officer, but I still have friends in there. The GPA wouldn't accept a turncoat with open arms either. I could be a double agent for all they know. As far as espionage goes, a deserter like me couldn't be an asset for either side. Why wouldn't GPA take you in? Or at least squeeze information out of you? Put you on a tight leash, gun to your head at all times? Have you heard of the rumor that Sanctus biochips act as transmitters? The GPA would never have anyone chipped among their ranks, I'll tell you that. They're too afraid the chips will lead Sanctus to them. That wouldn't be an ideal scenario for the whole guerrilla warfare shtick, you know? Yeah, I know what you mean. Been chipped all my life, and non-Sanctus treat that fact with caution to this day. So, was this the third option, or... We may have missed out on something, I'm afraid. Just so you know, the 2 years since we last saw each other haven't changed a thing. I still care about Hayami and the rest of Jalton like I used to. If you have any ulterior motives to having Hayami around. I'm not having her around, that would be too selfish. We're all equal parts in Omotesando. She pays her dues just like everyone else who wants to stay. Without a strong sense of responsibility for one another, a commune this large would crumble in weeks. You can't afford to be selfish. It's not about who's for who. It's about what you can do for everyone. She's way too into you, and you're not even that good looking. Toshio! Sorry about that. If you don't believe me, why not see for yourself? What do you mean? She should be at the graveyard right now. Go see how hard she's working for everyone. She's more passionate about her work than anyone else I ever saw. There's nothing exclusive between us, and I don't know why you think otherwise. Though I must say, I'm flattered by what you said, kid. She couldn't possibly like someone like you. Don't feel so bad. Here, I'll give you directions to the graveyard before you go. What an oddball. Coming from you, that's saying something. The product of the creative mind? A gateway to intellectual and cultural transcendence? What does that even mean? That's a smart way of saying art is important. People like the crap he's got on his wall? Art is an integral part of civilization, Gunther. Or at least that's what history tells us. Maybe someday we'll have less scavengers and more artists. Now you're sounding like that guy. You want to know what art is? Music. Music touches the soul more than his paltry art collection ever will. You're just not cultured enough to appreciate it, Gunther. Just because you put up a few pretty pictures in your bar doesn't make you cultured. I appreciate a good-looking painting when I see one, and my patrons do as well. You just need to be more open-minded about art. You'll get it eventually. I'm not appreciating anything that has to do with that guy. Let it go, man. I will not. Based off Toshio's prepubescent outbursts, I assume he wants to see Hayami. That'd be a good idea. Yaz was kind enough to tell us how to get to the graveyard. We should see what's up with Hayami. Afterward... clone. Was it this one? Oh, this is new, apparently. Why are you out here selling info anyway? In time of war, information is more valuable than any weapon you could get your hands on. GPA, Sanctus, even your average militiaman wants as much as they can. I'm one of those people that takes advantage of that. Business must be booming for you. It's been quiet. There's not much action going on in these parts. But here I am selling what I know for trinkets and food. What kind of pay do you normally get from this? Scraps of food, metal, sometimes clothing, sometimes tools, just about anything you can think of. Where do you keep all that stuff? I don't assume you got a hiding place for all that. What good is it to hide anything anymore? Make one suspicious move and everybody's on you for hoarding. I get rid of my stash whenever I get the chance. Trading, buying, all that. Keeps the local economy going and frees up space for me. Okay, but why are you out here? Like, what made you take this as a career? I'm good at what I do and people pay for my info. There's nothing else to say about it. I don't know what kind of answer you're expecting. Something tells me that this kind of work is unreliable. You said it yourself how quiet it's been. If there's no action, there's no info, which means there's no pay. You have to do something else to support yourself besides this. So what's your real job? I know you have to have one. Reira merely folds her arms and gives you a look. Right, better form of payment. So you sell info to Sanctus and the GPA. I've met people who sympathize with the GPA but condemn some of their actions. But Sanctus? You're not loyal enough to be a part of them, but you're on their payroll. You got a problem with that? It's just unusual to say the least. Isn't Sanctus big on, if you're not with us, you're against us? Obviously, I managed to be somewhere in the middle. A job is a job. If both of them give me food, water, and extra clothes, then it doesn't really matter when you think about it. I'm like a mercenary. I don't have a flag to follow, no creed, no countrymen, just a job. Even if it is a job, you have to at least be bothered by them. Of course they'd bother me. But again, it doesn't matter when I have a business to run. I'm a passive observer. That's feeding the Sanctus war machine. If you're going to spout out any political crap, you can get out of here. Won't hear any of it. This isn't a soapbox. If you want to do that, go into the market. Maybe if you're lucky, a Sanctus whistleblower will hear you and want to talk to you about your opinions. I've seen how that ends too many times to count. Then you should know when to keep those opinions to yourself. So yeah, we can't talk to that guy. Okay, the only arrow is behind us. Left goes back to Montesando. So was the graveyard literally just behind us, or... This must be the place. Not bad. They take their graveyard seriously. I've seen much worse. Same. I imagine it was a lot of hard work to clean this place up. And protected from grave robbers, too. Many graveyards in history were abandoned and turned upside down. Grave robbers made it very difficult for archaeologists to find anything of value. I couldn't care less about history right now. Let's go talk to Hayami. I have nothing to go on yet. Not one thing. This isn't a picnic. We've got our own job to do. Don't be so grumpy. We'll talk to Hayami and everything will be alright. I wish. Yeah, there's like literally nothing to interact with after the first chapter. Oh, hi. What are you doing here? Just checking up on you. We heard from Yaz that you work hard. Did he? I'm not worthy, Lord Yaz. Lord Yaz. Whatever. I don't want to bother you too much, but I think now's as good a time as any to talk. Yeah? Well then, make it brief. I'm busy, as I hope you can obviously tell. I already have some catching up to do because I have to make sure you weren't ruining my time in Omotesando. Or you weren't ruining my name in Omotesando. I know you've always been into the morbid and macabre, but working as a gravekeeper? I didn't know they hired for that. Was there nothing else to do? I was the only one to volunteer. It's not a simple job, but someone has to do it. I don't just sweep the floor if that's what you're thinking. Fill me in on the job description, then. You have to see me in action once new bodies come in. Not that there's a lot of them. Most people don't have the luxury of proper body disposal. We're also running out of space, so we're a little picky. You get to choose who deserves to rest here. The community does. This place is the property of one of Omotesando's biggest benefactors. We have basic ground rules, and sometimes we have meetings for special guests. I dig the graves, manage, and look after them to make sure no one ever disturbs them. You're all alone out here. Shouldn't you be armed, or at least have an escort with you? Why? You think someone's going to come here and rob the graves? I'd say that's a real danger. Well, it hasn't happened before, fortunately. I know there are grave robbers just about anywhere, but this place is relatively safe. You wouldn't have found it if no one told you how, right? No kidding. Without proper directions, you get stuck in this forest for life. Exactly. Robbers don't have to go this far to find victims. Nova's Tokyo isn't as safe as it used to be. They roam around more freely than before. Can't say I know the difference. I never experienced the safe Nova's Tokyo if it ever existed. It's much worse now. There are less Sanctus soldiers around. They may be pricks, but they kept the peace pretty well. I hear you. You're asking about me and Yaz? Oh, please, you flatter me. We're not in a relationship. We're just friends. I know you're not an item. I wasn't... What's that supposed to mean? What are you implying? Do we look so far apart and distant from each other that I couldn't possibly be Yaz's lover? Wait a sec here. That's what it is, isn't it? I'm out of his league? That's what you're saying? Do you want me to put you in one of these graves? No, no, forget about that. Just put the shovel down. How do you two know each other? I don't think you mentioned his name before. I met him after we disbanded. He just came to Omotesando one day. I've been the gravekeeper for a few months already at that time. He charmed everyone as you expect he would, and we welcomed him with open arms. His contribution to the community is to run that art gallery of his. He made a good case for it, so we accepted him. He's very nice, intelligent, and takes good care of the gallery. He's always smiling, goes out of his way to help other people sometimes. What a wonderfully charming man. Unlike you. Hey. I guess I shouldn't beat around the bush anymore. We're here because we want to restore Derchalton. I can see that. We think we have a real shot at bringing Miho back. We're gonna do it using the legendary Ark. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard it's a fairy tale, a myth. Like most myths, it's based on something real, and that's enough to revive Miho. I want all of us by her side when Miho wakes up. Hayami sighed. I knew you weren't just here to say hi. I had a bad feeling you were up to something. It's not that bad when you think about it. Aside from me and Midori, the gang's all together, huh? Midori knows what's going on. We'll just swing by her place once you're with us. Once I'm with you? Ha! You've got this all planned out. You didn't think I'd be an easy pickup, did you? You didn't assume I'd just been getting bored doing nothing in the past couple of years. Of course not. That's why I have to ask you from the bottom of my heart. This might be the last favor I ever ask of you, and I swear I'll pay you back in any way I can. Can you please come with us to save Miho? A mission to bring someone back from the dead. How novel. Romantic, even. I loved Miho, but the dead are gone forever, you. It's part of life, and you just have to accept it. Life can be cruel. It gives and it takes. But that's just the way it is. Besides, this Ark is an urban legend. I can't believe you convinced the others to buy into this. If they even know what they're tagging along for. Eiji shrugged. It wasn't easy. I was full of doubt myself, but now we're fairly convinced the Ark is real. It may be so that a thing called the Ark exists, but how could it bring back the dead? If you're asking me about the technology behind it, I can't answer you. The evidence of its power lies in a bunch of other things. As wild as the story of yours is, I couldn't go even if I wanted to. I have work to do. I don't do it just for a place to stay. It's an important responsibility. Go grab Midori and do what you must. I'd love to see Miho again once you return to Omotesando. She doesn't believe me at all. Was that a joke? You glared at Hayami. Please, you're fiery as ever, I see. Whenever Miho comes up in a conversation, this is how you always behave. I'd like to think that the Ark could do what you say it can, but you should listen to yourself talk. This should be old news to you, but you're talking rumors and fantasies. If it can do what you say, then that's amazing. If it can't, then oh well. You'll just have to find out for yourself. I'll be here waiting for you to hear your results. No, we have to be together when she comes back. We're all in this together. I promise Miho we'll all be there for her. That's enough, you. Eiji. Dude, we had this happen before. Seriously, take it easy. You know that he's right, you. Come on, we wouldn't have come this far if the Ark was just hot air. You're the only missing piece left, and you deserve more than dusting headstones. We're talking about something much, much bigger than Kinkakuji. I'll see you later, you. I have to get back to work. Hayami, why, Let her go, you. You're right about one thing. We've come a long way. Don't act like you did at the beginning of this journey, as if you haven't learned anything. Eiji, you're right. I'm sorry. Let's get out of here. Where are we going? I don't want to bother Hayami. I probably shouldn't talk to her right now anyway. Good. Nothing. What did I tell you? Hayami's never gonna buy it. I'd really prefer constructive criticism right now, old man. I think you know what to do, you. I do. You've gone this far, scheming against everybody, just do your magic on Hayami. Hey, you! Calm down, the kid's joking. I was? I get the hint, Toshio. I'm not always proud of my methods. Okay, just wanted to be clear about that. Toshio, come on now. Jokes aside, we're all here for you. Tell him, Eiji. Hayami's gonna be a tough nut to crack, but you've done well so far, you. She'll be part of the group again in no time. Little patience goes a long way. What do you suggest we do about her, then? You got any ideas? I'd say that Yaz guy is a good place to start. She's so into him, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the reason why she wants to stay. I've already talked to him. Didn't seem like he knows anything about Hayami that we don't. How about the neighbors? Neighbors? Locals told me everyone sleeps in the residential area upstairs. People here must be pretty tight with each other. Someone's gotta know something. Not like there are any better leads. You're right. We're not accomplishing anything just standing here. I guess I'll go poke around some more. You guys in? I want a beer. Now that you mention it, I'm starving. We should grab a bite. I don't think they'll feed us here, though. We're not official residents yet. Looks like this place is all yours, you. We'll find you something to eat, don't worry. Give me a break. They really left. Fine, I'll do all the work. And they can probably tell I need some time alone. Thanks, guys. Ah, crud. I don't really want to talk to her. Screw it. I was hoping something new would be there. The one dude's gone. Let's talk to the hookers. That bitch! Does she really think she's good enough for Yaz? You know her kind. Always seducing men. You should see the way she chases after him. Her face turns red when she so much as talks to him. Well, that's cute. So sickening. Just jump on him already, you slut! She must want him that badly, huh? She's pretty desperate for a tramp. It's not nice to talk about someone behind her back, you know. And just who do you think you are? What do you want, boy? Hayami's a friend of mine. What were you saying about her? Oh, you're the whore's friend. Are you a client too? She even goes after the young guys. It's worse than we thought. Watch your words. What are you going on about? Don't talk like you don't know what that bitch does for a living. You kiss your daddy with that mouth? What's wrong with being a gravekeeper? Gravekeeper? Ha! You really don't know anything about her, eh, boy? Just spill it. You know you can't wait to gossip some more. Your friend's a whore, a slut, a prostitute. Are you that dense? I'll pretend I did not hear that. I don't want to cause any trouble here. I don't take kindly to people spreading uncouth rumors about my friends. Get bent. If you don't believe us, go ask that other bitch at the Soapland. Think they'll even let him in? Boy's probably not done growing, in more ways than one. Soapland? Where would I find that? There's only one Soapland near here. Use your eyes and ears and you'll find it. Boy's in for a surprise. So they actually have profiles. They better come back soon so we can find the Soapland. Yaz is still inside. Does he just stand there all day? Don't feel like talking to him right now. Something about the way he grins that bothers me. Feast on this. Eiji tossed an energy bar at you. Gee, thanks. This is gonna get rid of my hunger for sure. Best we can muster. You find anything? I know we should find a place called the Soapland. Oh, about that. Heard it's a good watering hole if you can afford it. So, you already know where it is. Why do we need to go there? Couple of rude ladies that we learned about Hayami if we go. Really? Is that where she goes to drink? You don't just drink in a Soapland. Of course not, silly. They don't call them Soaplands for no reason. You been to one? Not really. But it sounds like a nice place, doesn't it? So I already ruined the irony for you guys, or you can probably appreciate it a little bit more if you didn't know what they were originally. You sure that's where we're supposed to go next? It's worth a shot. Those ladies seem invested in knowing Hayami, so they could talk trash about her. Whatever. Take us there, Gunther. I only know roughly where it is, but we should be able to find it. It's down the street to the right of this building. Let's move, then. Wow, this just screams sleazy. Fine. See if I give a crap. I'm out of here. What are you looking at? Got something on my face? No. Then quit staring at me like that. Sorry, I just... Apologies are great, but please get out of my way. Sure, okay, miss. She's a nice ray of sunshine. No kidding. There's something else about her, though. You got a new crush, you? Crush? No. I mean, forget about it. She your ex? Sure you'll just let her storm off like that? Aren't you too young to be here, boy? Only the gentlemen behind you are allowed. See that? She called me a gentleman. Oh, pardon. I didn't see you. You're not allowed either. Darn. Tough luck there, T-Man. Sorry, but we're not customers. We're not? I'm kind of curious about you doing a soapland. It's like a public bath or something, right? Is that really hygienic? Maybe you bathe at your own risk. Maybe you have to bring in your own bar of soap. Why do that when you just wash up at home if you've got spare water? Quiet, you two. Hi, lady. My name's Yu, and we just want to ask about someone. You have a favorite gal already? I'm oddly sure it's your first time. Do you have a gal named Hayami? Who's asking? We're her friends. We're just worried about something. We want to check it out ourselves. That's odd. I think the old man gets it. If you were her friends, why can't you ask her directly? You're older than me, lady. I didn't just hear that. Back on topic. It's kind of a tough question, I mean. We couldn't just ask Hayami if she was once your gal. You think it's an unspeakable profession, huh? Being a working girl. I wouldn't go that far. Maybe just a little indecent. So I'm indecent, is that it? You! You're gonna tick her off! What? That's rude. You can't make fun of her job. She's the lady that gives everyone clean towels. Way to make a jerk out of yourself, you. I wasn't talking about that. That's not her job. You're gonna get us thrown out if you keep disrespecting her towel duties. Are these guys for real? An interesting bunch, aren't they? You're with them. All I said was that her line of work is a little indecent. It's a lot better than killing or stealing. We're here to comfort people. We're here to make our clients feel special. What's wrong with a little harmless fun now and again? Forget it. I don't want to start any fights. I just want to know about our friend. Talking crap about someone's job isn't how you ask for favors. You just had to make fun of the towels, you. Will you stop that? I'm sorry, lady. It was a poor choice of words, is all. How about I show you why it's important places like this exist? Maybe you'll learn how to show some respect for business. I don't need to know how you fold towels and clean them, so I think I'll pass. We have a kid over here. Don't worry. This service is going to be for general patronage. And I'm not a kid. See? Now please take your seats. You'll be here for a while. What happened to you guys? Just on my way out to look for you. I thought it was just towels, dude. So this is what it feels to be a real man. We had a wonderful time. Don't worry about it. Why are Gunther and Toshio acting so... Whatever. I was going to ask if you were staying for the night. Can we? The less time we spend out on the streets at night, the better. I figured as much. In that case, I will have to convince the community that you're not worthless deadbeats. Are we going to meet the leader? There is no leader. It's been decided long ago that having a leader could cause problems. Really? How so? No leader's perfect, or immortal. But not having a leader, we don't have to worry about power struggles or politics. No one fights over who leads. We just have a mutual understanding of the rules we have to abide by. Never thought of running a group like that. I've been telling you, there's no running the group. The commune is just a bunch of people who coexist and understand that they can't do everything on their own. What will our contribution be so that we can stay? If it's just for a night, helping me out with my job should be enough. Can't cover your asses beyond that. Thanks, Hayami, Just don't make me regret it. Chapter 4, Day 2.